change. The Fever got to change on the defensive side of the basketball. And we're going to have a little fun today. We'll take you through a little film study. And let me show you what the Indiana Fever are doing here and how this is really making it really difficult, because the New York Liberty really are a transition team. And you got the three-headed monster, right? You got Breanna Stewart, 6'4", can run the point guard. And you got Ionescu and you got Cloud, right? So the Fever have got to offset that. They got to figure out how are we going to back this up. What are we going to do? We got to play defense. So let's get in the film room. We'll take the first play here, and I'm looking at it. I'm saying, okay, Breanna Stewart's got the ball. She's going to advance the ball. Now, here's the deal. The Fever lose their triangle on defense all the time. That's just going to be, think of a triangle. You got one person going to put it at the nail at the free throw line. You got two back-end players. You could turn to the left or you could turn to the right. Doesn't matter. You got to cover those spots, right? So here you got to look at this. You got to look at it. Goes over to Ionescu. There's no ball pressure coming. Comes back to Stewart. She swings it. One thing about the New York Liberty, they're always going to get continuity. You got to understand, New York Liberty continuity. They can work the ball from one side of the floor to the other side of the floor, back to the other, right? So now you get the Fever in here. Natasha Cloud, if you're looking at it there, they reversed that basketball. Natasha Howard's got to sink down. She's the part of the triangle, or you're going to have off ball coming off with McDonald, right? But we'll run through this, and you'll see where the Fever lack on defense, because there's the opening right there. But you got to look at that. Cloud doesn't take the point. McDonald doesn't shift down, so you don't have a triangle. And what does that leave you with? An open basket taking you right to the hoop. And you could look at this play again. I mean, it's nothing fancy. It's just basically they're coming up the ball, transition defense. Here's the number one principle, right? And you know Stephanie White, Indiana Fever, Caitlin Clark, you out trying to get it done. Money Mike going to help you out. Number one thing in transitional defense, who's ever closest to the ball has to take the ball. And that's the Indiana Fever's problem. They don't pick up the basketball. So whoever's the closest, they're letting that man continue on. And that's where Breanna Stewart's bringing it up the court. She shifts it, comes back to her. Cloud's just no defensive footwork. It's just not there. And look at Natasha Howard just reaching out and saying, come help me. You're not going to win a ball game like that. Let's go to the next play. We got Ionescu. The Fever here, you got Cunningham up at the top. You got weak side all the way across. You got two people guarding the basketball. So when this ball gets skipped or moved, you got a dive play that Howard's supposed to have, and you don't have a triangle. The triangle cannot be there. You could run a triangle here looking at McDonald. Okay, you could look at weak side with Howard, and you got Mitchell. That's the triangle right there, folks. These two players here, one of them's got to fall off, but they don't. They skip it across, right? And here comes the penetration from Stewart. Gets a nice little easy bucket, right? That's what the Fever's problem is right there. We're going to run through the third one, right? Here's a little entry. Going to give it up to Ionescu. Breanna Stewart's going to take the screen. Watch the interaction off the screen, and this is how the Fever don't play defense. They got to fix this. You get in there right there, you got Ionescu going to get a dribble drive. Breanna Stewart is off.